Ready? I'm gonna laugh with an intro. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the third Herd of Nerds podcast. I'm Taylor.
I'm John.
I'm Ray.
And we have a special guest tonight. Her name is Ashley. Ashley, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Ashley.
All right. So we're all fired up tonight for our third podcast.
Number 3.
Yeah. So I guess Steam announced 3 things. I guess I heard about that.
Was one of them Half-Life?
I hope so. No, unfortunately not. They announced Steam OS. Not excited for. In fact, there's not really much to talk about there. They just want to. I guess they're combining Linux with their own kind of gaming engine, I suppose.
I mean, they have to do it. Steam is Steam.
Yeah. Right.
You know, they're one of those gigantic.
Well, they did the
people.
big picture. They did the big picture, and then they brought that to the PC, and that was neat. I guess. I didn't really use it much. I don't know who did. I don't know many people.
I didn't use it.
I'm not a PC gamer, so
No.
the last game I actually played on PC was the first Half-Life.
But their whole intention from that was to bring it, to the bigger picture, the living room. They wanted it in the living room. So they announced the Steam OS. We were all like, oh shit, what is this leading to? This is nothing big, but it's got to be leading to something. And then we all predicted announcement number 2 being the Steam box.
Yes.
Yeah.
The obvious Steam box.
With the new OS.
And it just, that's it. I mean, I don't understand why.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would. I think
mean,
Steam is just trying to pull out their money now. Now they're.
Well, let's think. It's going to be a digital console.
Yeah.
There's no hardware to it. There's only software. It's only downloadable. It's only online. It's always online. Of course, it's Steam. They're going to keep Steam for the PC, but we saw, the kickback from the Xbox One. We saw how everyone didn't want always online. They didn't want DRM. They wanted used games. They wanted their hard copy. Yeah. We saw how the Ouya crashed and burned. They're like, oh, we're only online. Yeah. We're digital. All of our games are downloadable. Yeah. We got 400 games. We got Final Fantasy from the fucking Nintendo DS. It's like, we have all that.
And now we're gone.
And it's, it's gone. It's out of the picture. They have like 1,000 likes on Facebook. They're like, they're worse than my, my Facebook page.
So with that being said, what do you think the Steam box has to offer?
I think it's going to crash and burn too. It's not much. I mean, if they release it in 6 years, okay, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But
right now,
2 or 3 years, not a good time. Especially going facing up against PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
I could see where Gabe Newell's getting the marketing idea. He's a good marketing guy, but this is not a good time for that kind of machine.
So you think they should wait a while?
I think they should wait a while.
But do you agree with the
I would buy
concept?
Me personally, I'd buy. I bought into the Ouya. I like the Ouya. I like Android mini PCs. I love that shit. I eat it up. But I don't think anybody else would. I think it's not something people want right now.
As a non-PC gamer, it doesn't appeal to me. I'm not gonna rush out and buy one.
Well, I wouldn't see it, even to all the Steam fans, because there's a lot of Steam fanboys out there.
Yeah. PC master race.
Yes, and there's no reason it's not something to have, because we already have our Steam accounts. We already have our games on our Steam accounts. There's no reason to go out there and buy a console. Digital something that's physical and you can hold it and put it in your living room when it's just a bother.
Yeah.
I can see that point.
That's not needed.
But then again, there's all those other people who are like, oh, I want to support Steam, and I think that's what they want to do. They're actually looking for those hardcore fanboys who are going to support it and buy it, and hopefully they'll go up for it, because every summer sale, we already know the Steam Silver Sale, there's those boys.
Right.
There's those dudes who are like, oh, I'm going to do it because I love Steam.
Who wait till it goes online at 10 a.m. and gone. People, I have friends online who will just save up money and say, I'm buying all the games in the summer for the Steam sale.
Summer sale, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I came out, spent like $80 this summer. Came out like 150 games. That thing is awesome. That's the coolest thing ever. I'm just going to change subjects here real quick. If the Xbox One would have kept its policies, went digital, they would have the same, thing going on as Steam. That's what they were going for. That's the real, point of the Xbox One with the DRM, with no use games. They weren't doing it to rob you of sharing your games. They were doing it so you could have lower prices, better quality games, more powerful games, and you don't have to lug out and get it at the store. I hate saying that. I own a store. I sell video games. I hate saying that. I hate it. It makes me feel sick to myself. But that's what they were doing, and Steam's awesome. I'll give it that. So I think it's gonna come to that. Either way, Steambox is gonna be a good idea. 2 to 3 years down.
I think
the road.
it is a good idea.
It's a good idea.
I think it's
but not now.
No.
Not now.
Because there's so much. I mean, there's really no competition.
Yep.
No.
With what's coming out this holiday season. I mean, what do you if you're gonna open a box? You're gonna open a Steam box. Yeah, I think it's happy.
No.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Or
With
you're
my
gonna open an
One.
Xbox One. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
we saw the NVIDIA Shield project.
Yep.
That's cool. I think it's awesome. No one's gonna buy that. No one is gonna buy that. You could slap a NVIDIA logo all you want. No one's gonna buy it. It's just not a good time for it to be a console right now.
And I don't think it's
a
very-
third-party
I don't-
console is not a good time.
And I don't think it's very known. It's not very popular. The reason why everything else is. I
No,
mean,
you
it's,
have to be a tech geek to
Yeah,
even
exactly.
know about NVIDIA.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Everybody else is just like, "What's that?" They're not going to go for it. You know, a lot of people don't even know what the Ouya was.
yeah,
They
exactly.
were just like, "Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I still want my Xbox."
Yeah.
You know, so.
And it's like, what am I paying $99 for? It's about
Mhm.
that. But the third announcement, we'll get into that,
The
is actually
controller.
something that interests me. It's intriguing, you could say. It's a controller. Here's the thing. No analog sticks. It's high-resolution trackpads. Both sides. Big ones. Clickable, high-resolution trackpads. I think it's awesome. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy 3 of them. They work for PC. They're coming out for PC.
I saw
And then the
they had the
Steam box.
concepts for it about a few months ago.
And they're cool. They look, you know, comfortable.
I didn't think they were really gonna go for it. I thought it was a
ergonomic.
joke. I thought Steam was just teasing it and just trying to see what people were
You
gonna
know,
say.
I'm really mad that they didn't come out in all 3 announcements. Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Half-Life 3.
Well, they've
Yeah.
been.
I'm really upset that they didn't announce those games right now. I don't know about you, but
Well, no, that's what it is. It's like
Yeah.
Steam announces nothing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
It's
you guys-
that hype
Stuff
that
that
they
only-
it's what they do. The controller though, they've been developing it for over about a year.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because the
Which is
concept
stupid,
images
'cause
came out.
It's not
Yeah.
that great of a controller.
No,
Yeah.
it's,
I'm gonna
it's,
say it.
it's a
I'm
good
gonna buy it.
idea.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a revolutionary.
Yeah.
But
But
I don't know. I think they should have took a different approach.
let me ask this: how many people really enjoy using trackpads? I hate trackpads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Well, I mean,
hate
think
it.
about it. All laptops come with a trackpad. What do? You go out and buy a USB mouse.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. 'Cause
you can't stand it.
Okay, I get the idea. I get the concept. You know, you don't want the analog stick. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I hate. I mean, I'm gonna get it. I probably will enjoy it after I use it. But how, you know,
What makes
how's
you?
that gonna work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
okay, analog sticks. I get it. It's fundamentally right. You know,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
you move the analog stick to the direction. A trackpad, it can be really inaccurate.
Yeah.
Maybe your thumbs just aren't in a line. They're like they don't work that way. You know,
Yeah.
you're not
Your brain
very.
doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just different. You know, it's either they're gonna take you a really long time to adjust to it, or you're just gonna hate it. You're gonna put it down. You're gonna throw it away. You're never gonna touch
Yep.
it again. You're gonna tell all your friends it sucks, and no one's ever gonna buy it.
No.
I think it'll
And
like
that's like what 98% of people who've never tried it before,
Yeah.
and then
Exactly.
they finally tried, and they're like, nope, I
Yeah.
don't like this console. I don't
Yeah.
like any of this.
Because
Not
it's
happening.
first impression. No one's gonna sit in the room and be like, you know, I'm gonna give this a shot. They're gonna, no, they're idiots. They're gonna sit there and be like, screw this and throw it away. They're not even gonna give it 10 minutes of their time.
I think it's going to lay groundwork though for what you'll see for future controllers. I mean, like with what the Wii U tried to do with the tablet, like it's
Well, the tablet still had analog sticks.
Yeah,
It was
it's-
touch
yeah,
screen, but it still
yeah,
had
yes,
analog
but with incorporating that,
It would
I think it'll serve as a great prototype of what's to come in the future.
You know, if they would have done something like the PS4 did with their controller, where put a track pad in the middle and
the
make it
middle
like
of
an
it.
actual mouse pad, not as the analog stick, I would have bought into it. It would have seemed like they were copying PS4, but I would have bought into it. I would have got it. You know, I would have been more excited for it than I am for this one. You know? But they did.
But that's
they
the
made
thing;
it
they're
analog
trying
sticks.
not to, so they got to try
Yeah.
something different, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Which is,
Well, I'm
they'll-
happy they did.
Yeah, they get a kudos for like, hey, we're trying
Well,
something
there's no
different.
D-pad.
But there's no exactly.
Yeah,
that's the
there's
thing.
no other
So
option.
in case that
There's no
doesn't work out, or
alternative,
eventually it's going to wear out. Everything wears out, and eventually you're going to be playing it. And
Well, I'm
you're-
assuming it's removable. You know, you take the trap pad off, take the trap pad.
maybe.
It's probably.
I mean, there probably is a way, but it's just going to be annoying, man. I don't want to. I mean,
Yeah, I'll stick with my mouse and keyboard.
Yes.
For PC gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, if the Steam box come out, whatever, I'll use it. I'm gonna buy a Steam box, but I'll stick with my keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
I'm old school, man. I got my, my Death Adder. I got my Logitech K120. I'm good. I don't need anything else. I'm good.
I don't need
Used
this
to.
trackpad stuff.
Yeah. I hate using my laptop's trackpad.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
I don't think I want to use a trackpad at all. I
So
mean,
I'm
it
just
sounds
gonna-
interesting. I'd like to touch it and mess with it, but
So Steam, I'll
Wouldn't
say
go out
no.
buy it.
I'll say
Yeah.
no to you, Gabe Newell. Gabe Newell, usually I say yes.
No.
It,
We all give it a thumbs
every,
down.
but
yeah, because it would have been awesome. I remember it was like Steam News. I
Yeah.
remember, and my friend who was working today, I was just like, what was it?
controller.
yeah,
And
a
I was like-
controller.
What?
And they've done another like 70-hour countdown. Like,
Yeah, you
I know,
think
they
it's
have-
going to be,
excited.
they're finally got
You know,
the
it's
tech
like-
done to
it's
do
like
Half-Life 3.
they're gonna update the software, and then they're gonna announce Half-Life 3. Was not that.
Yeah.
Not that at all. And I was so disappointed. I was so upset. It was like, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna
go back
dream
to work.
about that not happening. It's like, so let's forget
One
about
day we'll
that.
get a new Gordon Freeman.
Let's move on. Let's talk about something else.
The other big gaming news that's come out in the last day or two is China lifted a 13-year-old ban it had on foreign video game consoles, which is, allowing all the, they're going to allow it into China. And that's a huge untapped market. Everybody wants to get into it right now.
Right.
But the new rules that are going to be implemented, it's not going to happen within at least 3 years. Most experts say even longer. Microsoft is already jumping in. They invested almost $240 million outside of China in Shanghai to get the name in there with a streaming company. And I think it'll be a good thing because you're gonna get a whole new market of gamers, and China is trying to get into the gaming business too. So I think maybe we'll see some cool, new intellectual properties. It'll be a fresh take.
See some new stuff coming out.
Instead of, what Capcom's putting out, what this is, China will say, let's try this idea, and
Well, we all know I want to call them refuge. The Chinese game programmers that like go to Japan or go to the U.S. and make awesome games.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see more of that because we know they make the cool robots that play ping pong.
Exactly.
It's like I love those things.
Exactly,
So they
exactly.
could program a game. They could make a system. They could make a console. It'd be awesome. I'd buy it. They make it in a sweatshop. I'd still buy it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
It's because
The whole
it'd be
market.
good. It'd be worth it. I feel like
Totally.
that'd be something worth buying. I feel like the technology put into it is worth my time.
I don't think you'll see Sony go in because Sony just has the Japanese market and
Right,
they don't
They're
care.
wrapped up in the.
Well, that's all Sony needs. Sony's always been about
Yep.
as much as they care about the three major of Europe and
America.
here. America's kind of actually the third rated in Sony. Everybody else needs to jump onto that. I think Microsoft needs to jump into that, and whoever else.
Into the Chinese market?
Yeah,
I think Nintendo should because
Nin-
Nintendo's dying in the
I
US.
was gonna say Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo needs
Xbox
to jump.
One and PS4 do not need to worry about it. Nintendo is like, shit, we're dying
Yes,
in
we
the US.
need
Nintendo
to.
needs
Let's
to jump
go
onto
somewhere else.
anything.
yes,
because
Yeah.
they're gonna jump into that market.
They need to cling on to somebody's leg and start humping it because they're not doing anything right. It's like,
Get some fresh
And I
ideas.
guess
Yes.
China's the one who's showing their leg off right now. Too.
Yeah.
Yes, they're showing
Pulled up the pant leg.
fresh nair on it.
I just it's just weird. It's just random. Like after how long was it?
13 years.
Just so randomly, I guess like they finally opened their eyes. Like we need to open up our.
Well, just
market.
like they're
Yeah.
doing to Hollywood now, all the movies coming into China are doing killer. It's why we're going to get a sequel to Pacific Rim, because the numbers it did in China and Japan alone blew it out of the water. It made a modest buck here in America.
because no one ever cared about the numbers when it come to China, when it come to movie openings, video games, whatever, and it's just that's what I'm saying, that whatever is going to open up and is going to go into China, they need it because that's where the other numbers are. Even though they haven't counted for the last 13 years,
Yep.
now it's going to be a bigger impact, and we're going to get different stuff that went positive in China that we couldn't get released here. Different kinds of technology, whatever. It's just it's a very big opening.
Yep.
It doesn't sound like a big, because when I heard that at first, I was like, okay, that's cool. When you really think about it, you're like, oh.
There's a lot of opportunity and
Yes.
awesome things.
And that's the first
on
thing I
the
thought of was
horizon.
Pacific Rim, because
Yes.
we weren't going to get a Pacific Rim sequel.
Sequel, yeah.
But because it did so good in China, and
Even look what Marvel did for Iron Man. They filmed a scene for the Chinese version, featuring Tony Stark talking to one of the doctors and meeting some kids at the Great Wall, and it was literally a minor 2-minute.
it was only in the Chinese
Blip,
version.
Yeah.
It was
And-
an actor and an actress from a famous Chinese drama show, a soap opera,
Yep.
a hospital show,
And-
and he was featured in the same hospital of
The show he works.
The show he works, and it was the same characters.
Yep.
So it was a kind of a tie-in,
okay.
but not a tie-in. So all the people who follow that show were like, "Oh, you're not gonna I can't
Iron
do that."
Man,
You know?
yeah.
It was awesome. It was really cool. So that's another thing. Well, you can continue now. I was just trying to
Jump on board.
explain it.
The one thing they're going to be really cracking down on, though, is the information security has to be assured, or else they're going to have to deal with the repercussions from the Chinese government. So I honestly, right now, I think Sony heard that and just tossed up the middle finger and said, forget it. After the debacle that was the PS3 leak.
Thanks for the slap in the face.
Yeah, and Microsoft on Xbox Live, they really keep everything cracked down. They keep it tight. You don't see about a lot of leaks of information coming from them. If they do, Microsoft is right on it. They don't sit on their hands like Sony did for so long, which completely discouraged me from buying a PS3, that they couldn't protect information online. I think it's going to be a great thing. Like Ray said, you're going to see a lot of innovation in the gaming industry now coming out of China, and we're not going to get the same recycled.
I'd like to see a game show in China. That'd be awesome. Put it in Beijing, slap it in Beijing. That'd be dope.
I think we're gonna get a lot of new companies launching, and we're not gonna get the same old crap we're getting from Japan of Capcom saying, "Oh, Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil 7,"
just slapping on a new number on the end and marketing as a new game
and beating it with a stick. I mean, like the Lost Planet games. I mean, you can go on. Capcom's relying on these tired franchises, and they're not creating any new IPs. Look why with Mighty Number 9, the creator wasn't satisfied at Capcom.
They're $60K away from getting a Xbox One and PS4 version.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
People want it, and like we talked about on the last podcast, the creator was asked, "Do you think you're going to get sued?" And he just said, "You know what? Bring it, Capcom. If you're gonna, hey, come on." But I think even with that Kickstarter, I think we'll see some really great things.
Another thing of opportunity. That's all it is.
Yep, opportunity.
All new fresh minds in the market.
The big news we talked about the other day too was Shield Mania. The ratings came in for 11.9 million, and it went against The Voice and NCIS. The Voice did about 14 million, and NCIS did right about 19.5 million, which a lot of people are saying, oh, it came in third place for the night. But Marvel captured the key demographic they needed, males 18 to 49. And with the momentum, hopefully it doesn't drop off.
I don't care who you are. That's the first episode. That was a pilot episode, so to speak.
Yes.
Everyone's gonna be like, that show was awesome. That show was the shit, And then the next show, it's gonna have, almost close to 20. I guarantee the next one's gonna have 20.
Yep.
I'm
word of mouth alone. Word of mouth alone.
It's
gonna.
Like I wanted. So, I mean, I was very like I said on the pod. I was very excited for the show. I thought it was gonna be corny this whole time. I didn't think. And first episode was awesome, but I hope they keep on track. And
it keeps momentum.
I don't lose faith in, of course, Mr. Master Whedon, but I just. Sometimes he can go off track. If you watch some Firefly episodes of Angel, you're like, it's
filler episodes. Everything that's filler.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he takes it really serious. Just keep it on. That was an awesome pilot. Second episode, I just want to keep interest, and I love the Easter eggs. I want all the talk, like third-party talk. I want it. So
glad to see familiar faces too. Like Whedon regulars.
Yeah. I actually came up with the idea for a drinking game involving every time you see a Whedon regular.
Last podcast we talked about that.
But you have to do it with soda or water because you'd be dead before the end of the credits.
You'd be dead within the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, just not a good idea now that I think about it.
Anyway, I just want to bring something up. I just want to change completely. I just saw this thing. I was reading an article. There is a competitor to the Steambox already, and I think it's insane. I might buy into this. It's called the Piston Living Room PC. Its starting price is $1,000. Now, wait. This thing is packing a punch. This thing is heavy hardware. This is big rig hardware. If I was getting to geek terms, man, you'd have a nerdgasm on the floor right now. You'd be going crazy. If you're a tech guy, look at this thing. You're gonna eat this up. It's for your living room. It's not just a computer, that you slap in your room and you play games on it occasionally. This is for everything you do. It gets TV. It's got a DVR in it. It can record TV. This is what the future is. Forget the Steambox. I'm not buying it anymore. I'm getting this thing.
That was quick.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
The hardware. It is. Let me see. It is a small. It's small. It's like compact. This thing is sexy. It's a small piece designed to be treated like a living room gaming console. It was first revealed in January. I didn't hear about it. Their marketing campaign must have sucked. I didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
It runs a 3.2 gigahertz CPU. That's the processor, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't say quad core, dual core. It doesn't say.
The processor is what?
3.2 gigahertz. That's faster than any model out on the market right now. 8 gigs of RAM. That's faster than any market on the model right now. I'm talking gaming console wise. With a starting pre-order price of $999, so $1,000 essentially. Okay. At the same time they announced the Piston, the Xi3 was announced that they received an investment for the hardware from Valve. Valve is sporting this thing. I just read that. That's verbatim. I read that straight from there. Forget the competitor. They're bidding into this.
Yeah.
I think this is a Steam box.
Yeah.
This
They're
This is a Steam box.
They're gonna try to incorporate
Screw them,
the
dude. This
Steam box.
is a Steam box, man. This is.
Amazing.
I'm buying the Steam box. I'm buying the controller. I'm buying everything. That's amazing. Is that ironic? Does that not?
No,
Yeah.
it does.
Does that not hint at anything?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're announcing the Steam box. Ooh.
Yeah.
I invested $300 million into the Piston. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
That's
And I didn't put a trademark on
Whenever there's
Steam.
something announced, there's always another side to the coin.
Right.
Yep.
So
So I don't know. Maybe they want competition.
Speaking of the other side of the coin, this week DC is coming out guns ablaze and announcing a lot of development of TV shows. I mean, ongoing with the Green Arrow series, which we've all
It's a
slagged.
I'm sorry. I just read it. 3.2 gigahertz quad core. Quad, ladies and gentlemen, that is a lot.
Yeah.
You take the one processor that's in the
Just in
Xbox
case
One
you
right
want
now that
a
runs
lot.
2.8, I think. 2.8 gigahertz is what the Xbox One's running. That's one.
it's 2.7.
2.7. Okay, and they have
Just
one.
gotta be the
Okay,
Yeah.
and then times it by 4, and well, make the gigahertz 3.2 times it by 4.
Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah.
Do you think your game looks good, dude? Buy
Not
this
anymore.
thing, play your game.
Yeah.
It's gonna look like your TV's gonna explode.
You're gonna throw
Your
it out the
TV's gonna
window.
explode.
Your head's gonna explode like that guy in Scanners.
It's amazing. That's incredible. I'm sorry. Get back to what you were talking about.
Yeah, it's all good.
That was awesome.
Yeah, complete. DC's coming out guns ablazing. Like I said, they're announcing developments of TV shows, which many people are believing that they're finally going for the shared universe idea. You have Arrow, which we've been less than glorious with in treating, which is going to launch The Flash. And now they're announcing a show based off of the John Constantine character, who was popularized a few years ago in a movie that was really off the mark and missed a lot of the character. And Keanu Reeves, there's no attachment right now to any actors, but they said he's not involved. And what really interests me, David Goyer, who wrote the Blade movies, directed Blade 3, who helped write the Batman Begins and got a story credit for Dark Knight and Dark Knight Returns, is the showrunner and developing it with NBC. And it seems one thing that worries me is about a shared universe is you have NBC and Fox involved, and Fox is notorious for saying, our toys, you can't play, go away.
Yeah.
But NBC with Universal doesn't seem to mind that. They'll say, oh, we can have a little crossover. I think NBC would be smart to get on the bandwagon and have these DC shows where they can have a shared universe, throw in maybe a couple funny characters, do a Suicide Squad show, do something maybe a
As
little
long as
more
they don't call him
drama
the
based.
Hood.
As long as
Yeah, oh God.
And then make his sister Speedy. And
I know.
Yeah. I was just talking.
then I'll find Dan Guggenheim and
Yeah.
Oh, God. The one thing tying into that, we all remember Blade Trinity and how bad that was. That's what worries me. I hope we get
How bad it was. It was.
I hope we get the David Goyer that knocks out of the park, because his experience with TV shows, Flash Forward, wasn't that good. The shows lasted maybe a season, 2 tops. I hope the Constantine character will catch on. I hope they don't Americanize him. They get a British actor to play him who will chain smoke, who will curse.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see him bring in Justice League Dark. If they do that and they pull in Deadman and the whole crew, I think I'd fall in love with that show. As long as they don't screw it up and call him the Hood and give it his sister.
I just it's hard because DC for me had its chance when it came to shows.
And then they made Arrow.
I'm talking about Smallville.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
that too. Yeah.
Before Smallville, I'm talking about Birds of Prey.
I think they should leave.
I'm talking about
too,
all the old DC shows that just didn't hit the mark, and they're
Superboy, their original Flash show.
The original,
oh God!
Now they
but the original Flash show did have one great actor, Mark Hamill, as the villain, the trickster.
Yeah.
I just think, and then they had their chance to do Arrow, and I haven't even watched it. I will never watch it.
They called him the Hood, and his sister was Speedy.
Yeah.
I know. We
were discussing that the other day.
I don't even think she does
watch
heroin.
it and he doesn't.
She's
a drug addict.
Yeah, she was a drug addict.
Okay, there we go. Now we need Green Lantern. Ryan Reynolds, that's terrible. And then we'll let that happen.
I just think that they really need to pull something out because S.H.I.E.L.D. is doing awesome.
Yeah.
And of course they're trying to buy into that. I just think DC needs to, they can't quit and it's hard to quit, but they need to because they've tried so long and it's not working. Let Marvel knows how to do it. They have the people, they have the tools, they have the universe. They did it right from the start. You guys are trying it and it's just DC, they do focus on their comics. It's like what we talk about. DC Comics, awesome.
Fantastic.
That's what you are. There's no, it's Marvel Comics, but there's Marvel
with
Comics, Marvel Studios. DC's comics is always DC Comics.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like even when we watch the movies, it's DC Comics.
Yep, the cartoons
There's no DC
too.
Comics Studios technically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is a Marvel Studios, and there is.
Well, DC's owned by Warner Brothers. Which
of course.
They have that back.
They have to have shows.
They
because
have
Warner
the
Brothers
pockets.
ruined half of their movies.
of course they do.
Okay,
They always do.
Okay, Man of Steel was a great. The Dark Knight trilogy.
It was
great.
alright.
Yeah.
Man of Steel was alright.
Whatever. But
nowhere
near the quality of the Marvel movies.
No.
Yes.
Nowhere near. Marvel's been doing it for almost 20 years now.
Yep.
And they had a rocky
Except
start.
for Daredevil.
They had a horrible
let's
rocky
look at
start.
Marvel
No, they had
start
a horrible rocky
Yeah.
start.
David Hasselhoff
But-
as Nick Fury.
The Nick
Anybody?
Fury movies. Remember the first Captain America movie?
Oh God,
Yeah.
the first
The
Fantastic
first two ones?
Four.
Dude.
Well, I like that. Don't get
Fantastic
watched as a
Four.
kid, I liked it.
Not the one that Fox put out. No,
the first one, the old one.
The
Have you ever seen the
original,
old one?
where
No, I
the
haven't.
thing.
The claymation. I mean, not
thing-
claymation. They just had horrible
Animatronics. The thing looks like a giant cock. For better lack of a word.
Could use shit.
No.
I feel like there were a few words you could have put in there that wasn't
that we
cock.
could have, but it just that's the big thing. I put by one night and I'm like, what is that on TV? And then it was so bad. It was like those old Roger Corman B movies that Marvel at the time.
In a world where movies are filled with cock. That's Marvel. Actually, it's DC now.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they did their thing with. The Batman show.
Yeah.
We all love Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
The Batman show. But you can even say, as much as everyone loved Batman back in the day, that was a horrible show.
The 66 show.
I love the show, and I give it respect. It has my respect.
I mean, you had great actors.
No, yeah, they were all good.
Vincent Price as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Burgess Meredith as the Penguin. Roger Gorshin as the Riddler. Miss Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. And then later Julie Newmar.
Who was Bookworm? I can never remember his name. Ronnie Dowell.
I think yes.
Yeah, it was Bookworm?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
big names for the time period.
yeah, and Cesar Romero is the Joker
Yes.
who refused to
One of
shave
the
his
best
mustache.
Jokers.
Who refused to shave his mustache, and if you look close now, when you see the episodes in HD, they just painted over his mustache, and because that's what he was known for at the time, and people were just like, oh my God. He had to shave it, and he said, no, you'll never lose my trademark. And I think, honestly, top Jokers, he
one of the tops, yeah.
Criminally underrated, you have Ledger's performance, Nicholson, but
Right.
Cesar Romero was the good, maniacal Joker. He wasn't, he fit the time. He wasn't this over-the-top, kill.
Well, there's different Jokers for
Yes,
different
different
Yeah.
times, yeah.
Of course.
Depends.
Well, and then there was the level of comedy in that show too.
Yeah, the
goofiness.
camp,
And
the camp.
Yeah, and it fell in line with that.
Please, just let that DVD set see the light of day, Fox. Please,
That would be nice.
please release.
Yeah, I agree.
We almost
I second
got it. We
that.
almost got it when Watchmen came out, when Fox was fighting over the rights for it.
You know what I'd like to see? Before Watchmen movies.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Let's
see
see
it
that.
before.
I would
watching
like
the
to
show.
see it animated.
Show would be
A
cool.
show or animated would be better.
They made an animated.
They made an
Watchmen,
animated one.
and I hated it.
It was
It
the
was
motion
weird.
comic.
I hated it. Yeah.
It was the motion comic. That's what they did for the
Yeah,
animated.
that's a little different.
But I like the motion comic. They got the actors from the movie to do their parts. And I thought the motion comic, I mean, it kept in a lot of scenes that they should have had in the movie, like the Rorschach interrogations with the psychologist, and then the impact it had on the psychologist. That was one thing that I was nerd raging about that wasn't in the movie. Other than that, I thought Watchmen was one of the best film adaptations of a graphic
It
novel.
is. I tell it to everybody because it literally did not hold back, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. And I recommend they have the full Ultimate Director's Cut. It's about 4 hours long, but it has the Tales of the Black Freighter in between, and it helps move the story along. And it helps break it up when they're telling stories, when Rorschach gets arrested. There's not these awkward cuts that were in the cinematic version where it was supposed to be.
So speaking of comics,
Great,
Nice transition.
great segue.
It's a good
Great.
transition.
speaking of comics, and since we're kind of in that already, let's just jump
Yep.
into comics itself. In the world of comics, Marvel recently announced T's new creative teams.
And the books they're going to be on. The one that's interesting me the most is a book called Rad.
Now, if I'm correct, they're announcing these in New York Comic Con.
Yes.
Which
New York Comic-Con.
Nerdtropolis will be at, by the way. So if you'd like to see pictures or you'd like to send us a book to get it signed or just hear news about it, give us a shout out, let us know what you want to see, and we'll show it to you.
Dan Slott and Michael Alfred are going to be writing the Rad series, and I believe it was Michael Alfred. It leaked out via a picture of his work desk about the Silver Surfer. And for those of you who don't know, Norrin Rad was the Silver Surfer's name, and of course, radical dudes, surf terms. I think it's long overdue that the Silver Surfer gets his own book, just because of how great a character.
All I had
he
to
is.
see was Rad, and at first I was like, "Really?" And then I thought about it, and I was like,
Well, doesn't the Thing have his own book right now?
No,
Does the Thing? No, he doesn't. Okay, good.
no, he doesn't.
"That would be a
Let me
horrible
make
series."
That
I've
would-
seen him on the cover of like 5
Well,
of the Fantastic Four.
they-
Like, that is his book. Like, this is his book now.
There was a rumor floating around for a while that there was going to be a thing because
If the Thing got the
Well,
book,
there was
I'd
going to be a
jump
story.
off
I
the
don't
ledge.
remember who was going to. It was they were going to do a thing after Fear itself, after he became one of the four.
the Stonebreaker.
And like him, like, oh, I don't deserve to be a hero. It was like It was pretty cool, but
No.
Didn't work out.
It did.
I wouldn't
yeah.
have bought it.
no,
No.
I'd be like, it's clobbering time.
We're
my friends.
Sorry.
It wasn't really me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
The other book they announced, it's called Trial.
Wait. So Rad.
Oh, whoa.
We're still on this
Oh, we're
subject.
still on Rad. We're still on Rad.
I'm just
Sorry.
excited about it. Okay, we
It's-
can go.
Oh, well, Trial is.
I figured that's what it was. I knew it was Silver Surfer. At first, I was like, imagine. I thought, you know what I thought it was gonna be? I thought it was gonna be some Marvel comic about surfer dudes.
Oh God, it's West Coast Avengers all over again.
I know, yeah. It's West Coast. Oh no, no. West Coast Avenger. No, never. Happened.
The other
Hear
book
no
they
evil.
the other book they announced it's just called Trial,
Yeah, I had no
teased
idea.
by Brian Michael Bendis and Stuart Immonen, who've been working the X-Men books as of late. And from the cover and what's going on in Age of Adam, I think it's gonna have to tie into the impact X-Men have had on the cosmics, screwing up the time stream.
Yeah.
They're basically, and even tying into Guardians of the Galaxy.
And that's happening now in Uncanny
Yep.
with what's his name, Kang.
Kang, who's a time-traveling villain. That's been his thing. And Marvel, you have the past X-Men now, the originals.
Time-traveling villain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How-
Kang. The
He's from the
How
24th
original.
century. Hey, it was revolutionary in the 60s.
Jeez.
Should have died.
Dude, Marvel has so many original characters.
Yeah. That came out
They
of the
really
60s.
do, though.
They do.
Yeah,
They're
they do.
really
They
OG,
really
yeah.
do.
Yeah, they do.
Just not the Sentry, because everyone
No.
knows the Sentry sucks. I'm glad he died.
No, I love the Sentry. No, I hated the Sentry
I
until he
remember-
got really badass
Yeah.
and ripped Carnage in half. And
I read
like,
Dark
Yeah.
Horse.
I actually remember when they announced, they said, we found this old abandoned script in the Marvel vaults from Stan Lee, and Wizard was in on it. And then it completely blew up on Wizard's face that they had to issue like a whole issue apology saying, we screwed up, we're sorry, the Sentry sucks, we know. The other book that's announced, a new She-Hulk series.
She-Hulk series.
Yes,
I
yes.
miss She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk.
I read the old She-Hulk.
Not
I like it.
because
I hear about it all the
certain
time.
things. No, but I've always
One
loved
Night in
She-Hulk.
China.
I don't know what. No, I always thought She-Hulk was awesome because she was in the animated series. I used to watch Hulk the animated series. Remember?
Which had the awesome episode of Ghost Rider.
the Ghost Rider episode.
Voiced by Richard Grieco, teen heartthrob from 21 Jump Street, who did the voice in the Ultimate edition of Marvel vs. Capcom
Marvel vs.
3.
Capcom. Which was awesome. I
Some
thought that was
nerd
pretty
knowledge
sexy.
dropping bombs on y'all.
So yeah, I'm joking. Everyone on our podcast is like, "Wow, that dude's a bitch."
Yeah. Ray,
Um,
you have a glass wrist.
I do. I really do. I gotta go to the hospital. Herd of the Nerds.
But no, really, if you tell anybody I did that, I'll kill you.
Shit, the wolf got him. No.
I just don't know what they're gonna do with She-Hulk
It's
because I mean I love She-Hulk and I want to see.
I like the series
She's
they
just-
did during Civil
She's
War.
become such a pointless character.
Yeah.
like she literally.
She got really phased out.
I think the
Yeah.
Hulk is a pointless character.
I mean the
Yes.
Hulk. No,
Yeah.
the Hulk. Well, he is sometimes.
Agents
But
of Smash.
this is the thing. When the Hulk is the main character, he's useless. But when he's a side character, like an Old Man
great,
Logan,
yeah.
and he's like the bad
It's
guy,
fantastic.
or in
Yeah.
Hulk versus everyone.
That's why you should have a book.
Excuse me.
That's why-
Planet Hulk and World
Yes,
War Hulk,
yes.
and then Hulk versus the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Those are awesome. But that's it
Yeah.
because they.
That's
I
it.
mean, those are the only times.
Because
I
he
wanna
had
read-
motivation in World
But
War
I
Hulk.
think that's all they needed for the Hulk because after
Yeah.
that it's just back to Hulk smash everything.
Yeah.
the one
I love Red Hulk. He's cool.
yeah,
but
General Ross.
Yeah, I like
I
General.
don't know. He's kind of overpowered to me. To me,
But that's
to-
why I
yeah,
like him
no, I
because
hate it
he kicks
okay,
ass.
he's I'm gonna go smash the evil villain in the base. Come on, Hulk smash, Hulk smash.
Because Ross.
She-Hulk, yeah.
Ross.
Well, that's why I love Red Hulk
You
because
know?
Red Hulk came out of nowhere and was like, "I'm tired of your shit."
He picked up.
he
beat-
Shut up.
He beat Thor with his own hammer
Yeah.
in space,
I
of
think
course.
it's stupid. I
But
think it's
here's
dumb.
here's how it makes sense. Red Hulk is General Thunderbolt Ross. He wanted to
That's right,
destroy
that's
the
the
Hulk.
same way
He
I feel
wanted
about
more power.
Superman. It's
So
like,
he's
Superman,
he's
go home.
overpowered.
No one wants you here.
I have no hope.
He's like, I need to let someone get
The one thing
It's
that
like Superman, go home.
I don't have a home.
And then the entire Justice League's like, oh shit.
wait.
Shit.
Too soon to be making
You see-
Krypton
you
jokes.
see just-
I know it's like go. Oh.
Too soon, Flash. Too
you see,
soon.
You see Batman like slap his knee and then like
Batman sitting there going, yeah, well, my parents died. And Superman goes, mine got blown up in a planet. But mine's more tragic.
no.
one-
Actually, if the Man of Steel ending where his parents died,
Yeah.
his mom and dad were like,
You should make that face for the camera.
you'll be safe in this
Planet's
pod.
exploding.
You'll be safe
Yeah.
in this pod. Completely safe. Nothing will happen to you. You'll fly right through an asteroid field. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You
You'll make
know,
it.
It's not like we're gonna explode behind you and the force is gonna blow you up too. It's like,
Yeah.
you'll be
No,
fine.
Yeah,
It's totally good.
forget physics. Well, it was another planet, so physics might be
I want a
different.
Could be totally
Supergirl
different
movie
physics,
because
yeah.
I love Supergirl. I think she's the hottest
You
superhero
just
ever.
like the dress.
Have you
And
ever
like
seen
I,
the Supergirl
I have,
movie?
I have,
Oh,
and I
God.
think there would be one like now, and they did it and way hotter.
No, there's
Yeah.
a real Supergirl movie.
Yeah.
It's not a
From-
porn.
Yeah, I know.
It's really
It's
No, no, no. She looked at me like I was like, no.
No, she has like a normal
It's over
boyfriend.
in
Yeah.
China.
You've never
Yeah.
seen
Hey.
the real.
And she has like a normal boyfriend.
I've seen it. It's
He boy
horrible.
has no penis. It's like, oh my god!
I know. It just hit. Oh, concrete. No,
You
seriously.
put on like a kryptonite condom.
Yeah.
No,
seriously.
Just
no,
to make
they-
it work out.
Yeah, he goes down and she just
the
snaps
power.
his neck.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
Oh, stop the recording.
Yeah, wait.
Go back 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're joking.
Yeah,
We're joking.
Yeah, just become one giant dick joke.
It's the end of the
The
podcast.
one thing that worries me about the
going on.
comic is the writer of the new Swamp Thing series, Charles Soule, gonna be writing it, and a lot of people said, he freelances between Marvel and DC. No, because Swamp Thing is awesome now. That's how we got the new John Constantine.
I don't understand that because I just read a Swamp Thing comic 2 days. Well, not whenever I was cleaning my room. I don't remember.
Never.
Yeah, no, it was like 2 days ago. And I was like going in my comic books.
You
and I was
clean
like,
your room?
No, I don't.
Get out of here!
Who cleans the room? What is wrong with you? You fiend! It's like
Swamp Thing sucks.
except for Arcane. The Arcane villain issue. That was dope.
that was
awesome. I was reading the comic and this sucked.
He has great.
I was like,
villains.
why do I have this?
Except for I think Alan Moore Swamp Thing.
No, Alan Moore Swamp
it.
Thing.
He didn't create it. He helped revolutionize it.
So now there's this new Swamp Thing, like the recent Swamp Thing, the last 3 years. I've just been like, why are they still Swamp? And I picked it up while I was in New York. Whoa, dude. He is like a monster beast, Conan the Barbarian Swamp Thing now.
And he's a member. He's a member of the White Lantern Corps too.
I know.
Isn't like every superhero remember the way?
No.
I mean, sort of.
Hey, you have
wrong.
a comic? Come to our... No, don't go to the pink ones. No. Magenta sucks. Come with us. The Red Lanterns are like... Every time you do a Red Lantern, you turn into a vampire.
Yeah, the Red Lantern are like a bunch of guys at an old punk show. I
don't want to join them. They scare me.
They just get really drunk, punch each other in the face, and
hey, do you want to join a
group
full of your nightmares?
Like
Red Lantern.
I
know.
You know where the Red Lantern's based out of? Ireland, South Ireland.
Whoa,
that explains a lot.
Yeah, it
I was to the Nerd podcast. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, you know what? Nothing's off limits. We're offending everyone.
I'm just kidding. I'm Irish, actually. I'm like,
I'm Irish.
Dude, I'm so pale. I'm like the most Irish.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a clad-off.
If I were to take off my shirt, like the camera would go completely white.
It'd be like a solar flare.
Superman would die.
He just goes.
It's face him out. Yeah, I'm that pale, guys.
It'd be like in
This is why I don't
Flashpoint Paradox.
Yeah.
Like,
Superman's like...
it's like Flashpoint Paradox featuring Taylor Blasco.
That wasn't a nuke that took Superman out in the Dark Knight Returns movie. Taylor was just at the beach, took his shirt off, and Superman was like, "Ah!" and looked like a dried up turd.
You saw like skin blood like boiling. It's like, blah, his eyes pop out like Homer Simpson.
He looks like Arnold in Total Recall when he gets sucked out the thing. His eyes.
Anyway, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
God.
Swamp Thing.
So these also in news.
Yes.
Also in news, I found a rash under because I feel like that's what we're talking about. Random shit.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Got it checked out.
I was at work.
I'm not sure about the results.
You know what I read today? No.
You read?
Nothing.
No, I'm just kidding. I actually did read a book today. I read Injustice #9.
Ooh.
It came out Wednesday. I'm kind of late.
Yeah.
And I haven't been keeping up very much. Guess what? I didn't like it.
I read this yesterday. I knew it was weird.
I didn't like it.
I like the chess thing.
You know,
that was kind of cool.
I really like the video game. I hate the comic. I really am not enjoying the comic at all. Not one bit. I think it's stupid. I really am not enjoying it.
What is it, like a prequel, right?
Yeah,
it's a story?
what
I haven't read it. I read that and I pretty much figured it out, but...
what leads up to
I don't like the
Superman
art.
being a giant...
Lois Lane is really hot.
Yeah, but she's dead now.
Yeah, she's dead.
It just sets up Superman becoming a giant dick. Tater.
Am I the only one who thinks Lois Lane was too like slutty looking?
Yeah, like the first book you open the book, there's Lois Lane and nothing but a row of panties.
Superman
I'm like,
yeah, Unbound.
Yeah.
Does this have a black label?
Go to the bathroom. Like, that's what I felt about the first Injustice. Like you open it up and there's Lois Lane and bra and panties. Like bathroom time. You whip out like a whole box of tissues and some lotion, and then you start crying because she's dead. And that's why I need the tissues.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no, my face is gonna dry up because I was crying. So you put on the lotion. You guys are sick.
Put the lotion in the basket.
You guys are sick and disgusting.
That's
our podcast.
Yeah, this is what happens. You know, we're classy folk here.
Anyway.
Welcome
to
I was gonna say it's kind of hard to segue into the next bit too, because just after all that, it's
back on track.
Yeah. Now speaking of disturbing things, violent things, Dynamite announced the launch of their new Army of Darkness series, which we can all admit
Awesome.
we love. Evil Dead, Sam
I
Raimi.
hate that movie so much.
You're a liar.
Get out of here!
You're a dirty
Get
liar.
out of here!
I hate Evil Dead 2. I hate.
You know
Army of
what though?
Darkness.
I was reading the Omnibus a couple of weeks ago, and I never realized that Ash's name was short for Ashley, so
Yeah.
it made me love it even more because I was like, yes! I share the name of an awesome dude that's got a chainsaw for an
All
arm.
the nerds watching this, all the nerds watching this, just punch their screen. Like,
Yeah.
no!
Yeah.
You just found this out.
I never knew.
I know.
You know what was cool, and I recommend everyone to pick up. It was based on an unused screenplay. Freddy versus Ash versus
I
Jason.
know. I
Awesome.
read that when I was in India. It was
And-
like 4 or 5 years ago.
And they did a sequel, Freddy, Ash, Jason
Freddy, Ash,
versus
Jason.
the Dream Warriors, which Dream Warriors do what you love. That was Ray and I singing. We're great. Taylor's
Yeah,
just
I
looking
think-
at us.
I think everybody's ears just started bleeding.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Good. Bleeding with awesomeness.
Time to go home. Time to leave. Anyway, in other news,
No, but yeah, Army of Darkness series based off the original screenplay.
Well, no,
I
not
feel
the
like-
screenplay.
I mean, not the
it takes
screenplay.
place
It takes place
after
after-
Army of Darkness.
I just think it's kind of funny
Yeah.
because we just have the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Come on, this
Yeah.
All these people are they're just doing their comics based off of screenplays because
Yeah.
they have no originality. And they have nothing to come off with.
Shut your hole!
I just think they really are. I mean, it's sad because they're like, we don't know what to do. Well, let's do it this way. Like, you're right. Let's pull it out of here.
Yeah.
That's been here for
Yeah.
like 13
Yeah.
years.
it's like they all
make
got
a
together
comic
and
out of
it's
it.
like, let's have company movie night, and then they watch it.
Yeah.
It's like, that was a great movie. Let's write a comic.
Hey,
Let's
we got the
screenplay.
screenplay
Yeah,
sitting in the
completely
I
basement.
know.
undermined.
It's like,
yeah.
yeah, someone picked up the Avengers. Like, we should make a movie out of this. Let's make 10 movies.
Well,
and
you know
lead
what?
them to this movie.
You know what?
Oh my God, millions of dollars. Let's do it for every screenplay.
You know what's cracking me up? I was just talking about it a few minutes ago, and I said it the other day. The Arrow comic.
1 second.
We'll be right
Oh no, you
back.
guys can.
Oh, okay. The Arrow comic. It's a comic book that's based off of a television show that's loosely based off of a comic book. So it's like we're just biting our own tails at this point, going around in circles.
I'm going around in circles.
Yeah.
Yep.
In my head.
We know.
It's confusing.
It's just odd, and it's like it's
What's
you know, it's like you
going
said,
on?
more money, more money, more money.
Yeah, no, it's all corporate now. I mean,
Yeah.
DC and Marvel, they're all corporate. It's all about
Yeah.
the cash. There's no passion in it. There's
They're
no
parent companies.
There's no real love for comic
Yeah.
books anymore. There,
It's just whatever
it's
executive.
strictly corporate. It's strictly, let's build capital off this. Let's
Right,
pour our money
yeah.
into this and hope it comes back. That's all it is. That's why I'm sticking with indie right now. I really don't want to read any DC, either Marvel. I'm a DC fanboy. I love Shazam. I love Captain Marvel.
I couldn't tell you love
love-
Shazam by his shirt.
I know.
Yeah, I had no
but
idea.
I love Shazam. I love Green Arrow. I love, the Justice League of America. I love that. I eat it up, dude. That's what
Soon to be the
I
Justice
am into.
League of Canada.
Screw that. This is another reason I'm
Yeah.
gonna dump DC. I'm so sick of their shit. I'm so sick of Marvel shit. I'm done.
Marvel and DC have been sucking.
Oh, my God.
we just talked about it last
Well,
podcast.
do you think we
You know
should
what, this
go
is-
out and take
this
care
is
of the
what it
bad
is.
guys,
Okay.
eh?
Oh God, we
It's-
got some moose and
I think
goldens
we can
there.
take care of them. We're pretty
Oh.
good on our own, eh?
You
It's
know
like-
what's he gonna be? What they just put Wayne Gretzky in a Superman outfit and just have him shoot hockey pucks at everybody, and his sidekicks Mario Lemieux. And what do they drive a magic Zamboni? do they go home?
Go, Justice Friends! We're gonna win the cup this year!
Do they go? Do they?
America, shut up! No!
I want back Trevor Rogers.
Do
Canada!
do they go home and watch Degrassi Junior High?
Oh
you know?
God. That's not even
There's
good.
Drake.
Jimmy, you can walk again.
God, dude.
That
DC.
stem cell therapy works.
It's DC, IDW, and I hate to say this, Marvel and Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
They're the four horses of the apocalypse, and it's bringing them down. It's bringing comic books down. This is the end, my friends. This is the end. And we're gonna see Indie Uprising. I'm like, yay! And then we're gonna go digital, and everybody's gonna
All the
die,
good
and
comics
Yeah.
are based off of screenplays.
World War
that
III,
weren't
and then they're like,
used.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yay! And boom, Dynamite, and boom,
Yeah.
and then Humanoid. That's it. That's what's left.
And we're done.
That's what's
Yeah.
left of our world.
I just,
And
I'm-
Twinkies.
I think I'm just gonna keep my
'Cause they're back
90s,
now.
80s, early 2000 knowledge of comic books because everything else has been sucking lately.
Mhm.
So, except for you know what, I'm actually disappointed because I was into the Flash Thompson Venom, which I thought was a bad idea.
God,
and
what a pile of crap that book
happened?
turned into.
What
Just
happened?
they don't even they try to show action by having like a character grab Venom by the throat, and there's no background. It just seems the artists were like, yeah, we know this book sucks. We're not even gonna have
put it out.
It was Mr. Hand from, or not Mr. Hand. It was no, that guy died. It was what's the thing from Super Smash Brothers? The hand.
Master Hand.
Master
Hand.
Hand.
He's just choking Venom. He's like, I'm so sick of Marvel comics. It's like,
Yeah, it's that people love Venom, but I think
okay, Mr. Hand.
new challenger.
Then you see a horse in the back.
Yeah.
You've gone too far. If you see a horse in the back of your comic, you've gone too far. Turn around. Don't ever read comics again.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stop. I think I'm gonna stop reading everything. You know, I'm not gonna be a nerd anymore. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be a total jock.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna come here in a suit.
Our
It's
next
like,
podcast
hey,
is going to be called The Herd of Jogs.
And we're just gonna talk about sports and punching each other
I know.
and being awesome.
In recent Paulie D news,
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm back
Get
in
out of
comics.
here.
Give me that.
Get
I'm
out,
back
get
in
out.
comics.
Oh no.
I'm gonna show up with a black eye like they didn't take me. They said no to my application.
They said no nerds.
They beat me and tied me to a
They
tree.
call me Four Eyes. Gave you a wedgie. And it's really.
I still can't find the underwear.
Moving on.
Yeah.
What's all the
There's-
activity in the parking
Yeah.
lot
I
tonight?
gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Taylor's scared.
In the TARDIS. In the TARDIS, guys.
Everybody in the TARDIS!
It's bigger on the inside.
Oh my god, you're knocking over Iron Man. Iron Man's like, I'll protect you.
Well, this was a good podcast.
I gotta live behind.
Alright, it's not bad. Anyway,
That's all, folks.
Beans and
Fuck
disease.
you, I was gonna say that. Anyway, we're gonna end it on that note, and I'm gonna leave you off with NerdtropolisTV's first ever TV commercial.
Yay!
Yay!
So let me see if it plays first, and then we'll go. Okay.
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 Nerdtropolis. Nerds rule at Nerdtropolis.
Your home for a great selection of video games,
Comic books,
anime,
collectibles, and more.
unbeatable prices, and conveniently located in Ormond Beach.
Nerdtropolis is a true nerd culture store.
Play it,
Watch it,
read it,
live it.
only at Nerdtropolis.
Nerds rule at Nerdtropolis.
Your home for a great selection of video games,
Comic books,
anime,
collectibles, and more.
unbeatable prices, and conveniently located in Ormond Beach.
Nerdtropolis is a true nerd culture store.
Play it,
Watch it,
read it,
live it.
only at Nerdtropolis.
Nerds rule at Nerdtropolis.
Your home for a great selection of video games,
Comic books,
anime,
collectibles, and more.
unbeatable prices, and conveniently located in Ormond Beach.
Nerdtropolis is a true nerd culture store.
Play it,
Watch it,
read it,
live it.
only at Nerdtropolis.
Nerds rule at Nerdtropolis.
Your home for a great selection of video games,
Comic books,
anime,
collectibles, and more.
unbeatable prices, and conveniently located in Ormond Beach.
Nerdtropolis is a true nerd culture store.
Play it,
Watch it,
read it,
live it.
only at Nerdtropolis.
Nerds rule at Nerdtropolis.
Your home for a great selection of video games,
Comic books,
anime,
collectibles, and more.
unbeatable prices, and conveniently located in Ormond Beach.
Nerdtropolis is a true nerd culture store.
Play it,
Watch it,
read it,
live it.
only at